the IB program of that Sunnybrook is a part really stood out. That was something that, as we did more research, we really liked the kind of international nature of that curriculum. We liked the continuity of that curriculum, not only across grade levels, but even within a grade across the different programming.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
We were previously at a small private daycare, and we're looking for options to kind of remain in that type of setting for our first child who was graduating from kindergarten, looking at SKs. And so Sunnybrook was on the list of schools that were kind of within a decent commute and kind of word of mouth network. And then as we kind of visited schools and spoke to different staff at them, Sunnybrook really just sort of stood out among them for a variety of reasons I think we'll discuss. But I think it was really that just sort of positive first impression. I think it was a quick learning curve. I don't remember too much of an adjustment period. Luckily the setting was kind of small and very personal and close to home, and so it wasn't so different from the school that they had been at for kindergarten. And luckily quickly made friends and a lot of good teacher attention and the like, and so it was not a too much of an adjustment period. Yeah, I think they'd probably say gym and lunch like any any elementary kid school. They would, if they were here, they'd say that. But I think what they really like is there's a lot of continuity, I think, through the school. So while new kids are joining and replacing, there's not a lot of turnover. They've been with their friends since kind of that senior kindergarten time through grade 6 and grade 3. So I think they would probably say they like their friends the most. And then I think because it's a smaller school setting, they kind of know the different teachers from different activities and different settings. And so it really feels like their school, the two brothers. Yeah. Yeah, I think like any parent thinking about schools, academic rigor, academic excellence was very much what we were looking for a good education. And the IB program of that Sunnybrook is a part really stood out. That was something that, as we did more research, we really liked the kind of international nature of that curriculum. We liked the continuity of that curriculum, not only across grade levels, but even within a grade across the different programming. And so certainly I think the curriculum and the academics were the number one thing. And then we were quite impressed by the school's leadership and administration and staff. Obviously the teachers is the number one thing in any school. And we've just been continually impressed by all of the teachers and their approach and their ability to, hold the kids to a high standard and consistent standards, but also tailor personal attention as required. Yeah, I think its physical location is quite small, and the student body size is quite small. I think what surprised us was it doesn't feel small. They put on very high quality arts and plays. The athletics, they're continually going off-site or finding different unique ways to use the on-site place. And then as well, I think a benefit of being small is just sort of having more of that community across grades, across various parent groups. And so overall, it felt like a normal, medium-sized school setting in a way that I might not have thought from just our first visiting of the location. Yeah, I think a lot of the school's values are tied to the IB learner profile and IB principles, which we really like, right? A lot of things around inquiry, risk-taking, character, and the like, feels very genuine. There's a lot of positive reinforcement, or a lot of using that to anchor education within the grade and the curriculum, but also across language, athletics, the arts, and the like. And so I think the values are very much tied to traditional things that are about personal growth and education, which really resonated with us. Yeah, I think one thing you get with a school like Sunnybrook are people that place a lot of value on education and take a lot of active interest in their child's education for different reasons. And so I find that whenever you're attending, a parent-teacher, this is all pre-COVID. COVID has obviously changed a lot, but a parent-teacher thing or a school play or a cross-country meet, the parents are quite involved. These are people who have many competing interests on their time, but it's clear that education is a priority for them, and that's very much what we were looking for. Yeah, so our son Grant had won the Geography B 2 years in a row, and it was something that I think the school did a good job of building into a bit of event. Build up to it, took it very seriously, and then it was very meaningful kind of after that. And so my sixth grader was studying his maps and his flags and things like that, and very much. I think the school did a very good job, and it's been a long time since I was at elementary school. I feel like there was a lot of that kind of thing, but it was very much something that was a real, felt above and beyond that the school was participating in with other schools in the region. And then my younger son is quite athletic. And so one thing that Sunnybrook School does is kind of in their before and after care settings have a thing like house games. They kind of divide the kids into these various houses. And so it definitely helps him get up in the morning and look forward to school, to go and be a bit competitive, probably burn off a bit of that energy and be that much more ready for other learning settings. But as I mentioned, you might be pleasantly surprised by the physical location of the school and how much they're able to still keep the kids, and keeping it very big for small children is something we've been very impressed with. Yeah, so we've been extremely impressed with both the administration and the teachers. It's clear that they have very high standards for the kids, but also very much understand how they're doing, the personal attention. We've been very impressed in any kind of report cards or parent-teacher interviews. It's clear that the feedback is very specific, it's very tangible, it's very fair. And so while other parents in other settings have kind of struggled with some of that over the years, it's clearly something that Sunnybrook takes very seriously and very thoughtful. So I think that's been a big thing. Can't say enough about the quality of the teachers and their attention. And then on the administration side, I would say that we were very impressed with the very difficult transition during COVID. Every organization, every part of the economy was struggling with that. But I think the maturity, the calm, the presence, the communication, the ability to transition to virtual learning was something that, in hindsight now could have gone a very different way. But at the time, just felt very much expected that that's how Sunnybrook operates. And so, we've been very impressed with both. Yeah, I would recommend Sunnybrook for three reasons. One would just be the academics and the curriculum that's tied to the IB program and the quality of the teachers. I think in education, there's a lot of important things, but actually academic excellence and learning and preparing for those future grades and future life challenges is most important. And we've just been so impressed over the years with two boys there with the quality of how the school approaches that. I think the second would be just the Sunnybrook community. Like I mentioned, the personal involvement of all parents across different years, the different opportunities for parents to get involved, whether that be things like athletics and cross country or school play or other fundraisers and children's fairs and the like. It is something that the kids don't just get to see their friends, but I think parents over time become friends. And then I think the third thing would be the attention to other extracurricular activities. So Sunnybrook is a very high quality music program, very involved athletics off-site. I think very high quality French instruction. And so those are things that maybe you might not think at a smaller size school would be as strong as they are, but it's clear that Sunnybrook views that as part of its competitive advantage and has invested in, I think, grown that accordingly. I think as much as you can sort of visit and see a school in action, now that the pandemic is receding and into the past, and it's a bit easier to kind of go make that visit. I would highly recommend that. We were able to do that. We had selected Sunnybrook before the pandemic, and so we're able to really see it, engage with some of the parents and teachers on our tours and on our visits. And it was something, as we were looking, one of the only disadvantages of Sunnybrook is that it ends at grade 6, and so we've just gone through the search now of finding that next school. And as good as all of these schools are at conveying through virtual tours and materials and the like, there's really no substitute for walking the halls and speaking to the teachers and engaging with students and parents. And so I think anyone who takes the time to go actually visit Sunnybrook and walk around the school and kind of just see it in action in a given day is going to be very impressed in a different way than if you're just looking at a drive-by or a brochure.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.